Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of Industry Greatest Hits. We are focusing on manufacturing and distribution solutions for Business Central. Welcome to day 2. We had a great lineup yesterday of 6 different solutions, and today we have 5. And this is your lineup for today: TrueCommerce, PayTrace, CAD Talk, Solver, and Source Technologies. And they'll each do a 15-minute demo for you to see, get a snapshot, a sneak peek of what their solution does. And hopefully you'll want to learn more afterwards. I am recording this and we'll be sending out a recording email for both day 1 and day 2. So stay tuned for that in your inbox. If you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And that way we can have our presenters go in there and answer them afterwards so we can keep things moving and getting everybody in on time, getting in there 15 minutes and maybe finishing up a few minutes early for you so that you can get some other things done that you need to get done. But with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we have River from TrueCommerce kicking it off today. Welcome, River.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy. All right, let me share my screen. All
You're good
right,
to go.
perfect. Thank you. All right, so hey, everybody, I'm River Hansen. I'm a sales engineer here at TrueCommerce. And as a sales engineer, I sit at the intersection of the technical and the business realms as they relate to EDI throughout a sales lifecycle. I've been with TrueCommerce a little over 2 years at this point, and I primarily focus on our Microsoft integrations. But with that said, I'm very happy to be here today to walk you through a snapshot into the EDI realm and how it can walk hand in hand, positively impact and make those day-to-day business processes within Dynamics Business Central more streamlined, more efficient, and more automated. All right, so just a quick overview of TrueCommerce. Really, what is TrueCommerce? We're an EDI service provider. We help automate and streamline communication within and across the supply chain. So at our core, we are a translator. We take X12 EDI, which is the most common standard of EDI today, and other formats, whether it's XML or CSV, from different trading partner relationships, and we translate that to a standardized, easily ingestible format that we can then feed and integrate data in and out of ERPs like Dynamics BC. Now, through that integration and automation, it helps cut down on manual data entry, improves overall accuracy, ensures compliance with trading partner relationships, prevents fines and chargebacks, and it really strengthens visibility into the overall holistic view of supply chain operations. So now if we're thinking about the Dynamics Business Central integration specifically, we have a very deep Dynamics heritage. But today specifically, it's a modern Business Central execution through an API-driven approach. We've been successful in that space for 8+ years, and beyond that, closer to 15+ years, as it relates to the predecessor of Business Central Dynamics Nav, that integration as well. So that integration as a whole, it's downloadable from AppSource Marketplace. It allows our platform directly to tie into Business Central, and it's done through a certified extension. So with that, let's go ahead and actually hop into the platform here so you can get a quick platform tour of what it's going to look like. So you have TrueCommerce Foundry. This is going to be, if we're thinking about manufacturing and recognizing that we have many customers today within that space. If we're thinking about full production life cycle from planning to execution, there's definitely spaces in which EDI can act as an extension or a support arm to help connect pieces of the puzzle. And as we think through supply chain integration, EDI can play that role within creation of sales orders that can help drive production orders, that can also generate purchase orders back to supplier networks. We can help manage item replenishment, help with inventory management and visibility. So a lot of different ways that we can play and help with the EDI space there. Foundry is going to be our main UI. It's a modern UI, but it is a bridge, so to speak. So it's going to live in the middle. We have one side of that bridge being your network side, where TrueCommerce maintains all trading partner connections. So all of those mappings, how they communicate their data, whether it's AS2, VAN, FTP. Again, Foundry will sit in the middle. And then on the other end of that bridge is your ERP integration. So where we can perform data manipulation to make sure that there's clean expected data that you can focus your day-to-day on within the ERP itself, when we're creating those sales orders and when we're pulling out any response documents back out for trading partners. Now, living within Foundry, we have Transaction Manager, just an application within Foundry, but I'll click into this Transactions tab here so you can take a look. And this is going to be designed specifically to look very intentionally like an email inbox. And we've done that because it's familiar. We've all utilized email for a very long time. It's easy to navigate. But this is where you're going to have that transactional visibility outside of living within the ERP. If you did want to log into a platform to see what's taken place between your trading partners and so forth, this platform gives you the ability to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and push some data in from our network here. And as that flows in from our network, you can see here we had a new order come in from Caterpillar. They're sending in an 850 in the EDI speak, right? It's coming in as a purchase order. And really from an intentional visibility standpoint, we're never going to black box your data with our solution. It's going to come in, obviously get ready to move into and create that sales order on the BC side, but we're also going to give you the ability to view the raw EDI. So not necessarily at the forefront, but if you did have a need to troubleshoot or want to see what's going on with that EDI, you can do so right from within the platform. You also have the ability to print to PDF. So if it's a use case where you just need something from an archival standpoint, or maybe you have a division that needs these PDF orders for a certain use case, you can print those out as well directly from the platform. I'll click into this guy real quick. So you saw what the EDI looked like, a little cumbersome to look at. When we have that EDI come through, we're going to parse that data so it's a little bit more ingestible to the reader who's taking a look at these transaction details, right? We're going to segment it into a header level fields, separate it into items as well, any address information, contacts, any miscellaneous data that lives within the EDI transaction itself. We'll go ahead and parse that out and make sure it's in this format here. This is also where users will have access to things like an item list. So if we pop into this item list here, it's a cross-reference capability for item identifiers coming off of EDI transactions, as they might be sending SKU 123, but BC might be needing SKU ABC. So this is where that one-to-one match can take place. You can do that directly, do that item maintenance directly from within the platform. You can also manage it with our integration directly from item tables within BC. Both options are acceptable and both are supported. But again, it's just up to the user on where they want to really hone in on that item maintenance, excuse me. All right, pop out here. I'm going to go ahead and export this. You're seeing me run this manually. This would be something that we set up on an automated job. So it'd be, we use a tool called Scheduler. Our team helps, walk through what that looks like from a desired frequency. Do we want these orders flowing into BC every 30 minutes, every hour, every couple hours? Completely up to you in the use case and the timing and the needs of the orders and the other documents outbound. But again, manual there. Now, it left successfully. It's moved into BC. Great. We love to see that. In terms of errors, if that does happen, we're going to always send you an error notification if there's something like maybe an item not found or a pricing discrepancy issue. We'll send a user that notification that prompts them to log into Transaction Manager, which is this interface here, to investigate and figure out what the fix might be. But that being said, everything's happy path today. So let's just hop into Dynamics here. And we will jump into our sales orders. Filter off of that document, date. And you can see here we have a newly created sales order for Caterpillar. And a couple just specific call outs we're going to have within our integration layer. We'll add in this TrueCommerce section. This gives us the ability to store EDI specific data that might not have a native home within BC. So if we need those for outbound transactions or for validation purposes, we have places to store them. I'll also call out that if a user has on their records the need for custom fields, we can support those as well. It's a simple mapping exercise on our end. All right, and I'm going to do the bare minimum here to get this order pushed through. But I will post sales shipment here and that invoice. and we will pop back into our posted sales shipment. So when we create that posted sales shipment, right, a lot of customers are going to require back shipment details. That is going to be typically necessary, especially in the retail, the automotive, manufacturing space. That's typically something we see. So in that regard, we'll create that posted sales shipment. This is really the record type that's going to allow us to structure advanced ship notices back out to those partners. We have the ability with our integration to choose our auto pack option here. This is all built-in functionality. It's a template that helps establish those package level details. Again, just streamlining that process, predetermining how items are grouped together. If a user is utilizing a WMS or they're packing manually, that's totally fine as well. As long as those package level details live here, we can structure those ASNs accordingly. So once I have that created, I'll hop into our outbox. This is where those response documents pull through. Again, you'll see me do it manually, but this will be set up on a scheduled event to pull these back out of Dynamics BC. We're looking at the frequency. We're looking at the desired parameters. What document types are we looking at? What statuses are they in for us to pull? And then I'll take that and we'll pop it in here. Now what it's doing is it's running through validation. So trading partners are going to have a specific set of requirements for required fields that need to be met with these outbound transactions. If they're not met and these documents are sent, there could be fines and chargebacks related to EDI. Our goal is to help prevent those. So in doing so, being a robust plumbing system that we are, getting the water to and from where it needs to go, we can turn the water off, halt that document, notify the user to log in, and then they can come in and take a look at what might be missing. So if we're popping into this document here, we'll just follow the breadcrumb trail to shipping, and we're missing a scat code, so I'll pop one in here, save and close, and everything is good with the document now at this point. I can either send it or I can wait for an automated scheduled event to pick it up and take it out. So I'm going to go ahead and hit send there. We'll hop back into BC and I'll just showcase here that we have this transaction status. I think this is really important from a visibility perspective, right? You don't always want to have to be within Foundry to make sure things are being sent successfully. So if I hop back to TrueCommerce, my transaction status, we have the ability to do these write backs. I'll do it manually today. It's kind of hard to time on a demo, but what it's going to do is it's going to grab that successfully sent timestamp and give me that assurance that everything's been sent successfully. So without having to leave the ERP, I can just do a quick glance and say, okay, everything looks good. All right. So I know we're coming up on time here. So one last thing in terms of a favorite feature I'll leave you with. Obviously with EDI being a managed service provider, for thinking about support's a big one. It's a support on a spectrum is how we like to look at it. We provide an intimate collaborative support model, right? Being a managed service provider, but we want customers to have tool sets, if they're comfortable, to troubleshoot and self-help where they see fit. So it can be hands-on, hands-off, hybrid approach that puts the control in the user's hands. So in that case, from a feature perspective, a couple different options here, but my favorite's going to be if we're kind of thinking through AI being at the forefront of the conversation and a lot of things nowadays. We have an AI-driven chatbot. It's called True EDI here. Gives you access to create support cases, help articles, make sure things are all operational, but it also gives you the ability to troubleshoot. So for users who are new to EDI or newer to the platform and they want to get ramped up and they want to do a little troubleshooting or a little learning themselves, they can come in and ask questions. They can have full conversations here. They can even troubleshoot errors. As you can see here, I've popped in an error, copy and pasted it. It accepts images as well or screenshots, and it will give you step-by-steps on how to fix that. That's just a feature favorite from my end. I'll kind of pause there, check the chat before I hop off, but I want to thank everybody for their time today. Hopefully this helps guide and expand conversations within the EDI space and showcase how TrueCommerce can really make a direct impact on how EDI converses with Dynamics Business Central. But thank you everyone again, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, River. Great way to kick off day 2.